I watched as Ethan's world began to unravel, the sound of a ticking clock building in the shadows. A mysterious figure, their face obscured by darkness, whispered a single phrase, "It's only a matter of time." I was already sitting in my car, parked outside the coffee shop where I'd last seen Rachel, my mind still reeling from our confrontation. The memory of her fear-stricken face lingered, a burning fuel that drove my determination forward. As I sat there, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was just getting started, that the seeds of revenge I'd planted were already beginning to sprout. I thought back to the evidence I'd gathered, the secrets I'd uncovered, and the plan I'd set in motion. "You have no idea what I'm capable of," I'd told Rachel, and now I was ready to prove it. My eyes locked onto the phone in my hand, the screen glowing with a text from an unknown number, "Meet me at the office building at 5, come alone." The message was from Alex, a former colleague of Ethan's, someone I'd discovered had his own reasons for wanting to see Ethan fall. We'd exchanged a few cryptic messages, but this was the first time we'd agreed to meet in person. I felt a shiver run down my spine as I wondered what Alex had planned, what role he'd play in my quest for revenge. I took a deep breath, started the engine, and pulled out of the parking lot, my heart racing with anticipation. As I drove to the meeting point, my mind flashed back to the day I discovered Ethan's infidelity. The pain and anger I'd felt then still simmered just below the surface, waiting to be unleashed. I thought about the way he'd lied to me, the way he'd betrayed my trust, and my grip on the steering wheel tightened. I was going to make him pay, and I was going to enjoy every moment of it. I arrived at the office building, my eyes scanning the parking lot for any sign of Alex. A figure emerged from the shadows, tall and imposing, with a stern expression etched on his face. "Ava," he said, his voice low and gravelly as he approached my car. "I see you're as eager as I am to take down Ethan Thompson." I nodded, my heart pounding in my chest as I stepped out of the car to meet him. "You have no idea how much I want to see him fall," Alex said, his eyes blazing with a fierce intensity. "He ruined my career, destroyed my reputation. I've been waiting for years for the perfect moment to strike back." I listened, entranced, as Alex recounted his story, the injustices he'd suffered at Ethan's hands. With each passing moment, our alliance grew stronger, our shared desire for revenge forging an unbreakable bond between us. As we walked into the office building, the fluorescent lights overhead casting an unforgiving glare, I felt a sense of purpose wash over me. We were in this together now, Alex and I, united in our quest for justice. "We need to be careful," Alex warned, his voice dropping to a whisper. "Ethan has powerful enemies, people who won't hesitate to strike back if they suspect what we are planning." I nodded, my mind racing with the implications as we stepped into the elevator and began our ascent into the heart of Ethan's empire. The doors slid open, revealing a sleek, modern office space, the kind of place where deals were made and fortunes were won. I spotted Ethan's assistant, a poised and polished woman with a perpetual smile, and my heart skipped a beat. "Welcome, Ava," she said, her voice dripping with sweetness. "Ethan is expecting you." I smiled, a cold, calculated smile, as I followed her to Ethan's office, Alex lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As I entered Ethan's office, I was met with the familiar sight of his charming smile, his eyes crinkling at the corners as he stood up to greet me. "Hey, beautiful," he said, his voice dripping with sincerity. "What brings you here today?" I played along, laughing and chatting, all the while thinking about the sabotage I'd set in motion, the threads of deceit I'd carefully woven. "I just needed to see you, Ethan," I said, my voice husky and intimate. "I missed you." Ethan's eyes locked onto mine, a flicker of suspicion dancing in their depths, but I just smiled and leaned in close, my lips brushing against his ear. "I love you, Ethan," I whispered, the words tasting bitter on my tongue. As I pulled back, I caught a glimpse of Alex watching from the doorway, a small, satisfied smile playing on his lips. The rest of the day was a blur of meetings and phone calls, Ethan's empire humming along like a well-oiled machine. But I knew the truth, knew that the seeds of sabotage I'd planted were already beginning to sprout. I could feel the tension building, the stakes escalating as Ethan's enemies began to circle, sensing the weakness in his defenses. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the city, I made my way back to my car, my phone buzzing with a text from Alex. "It's working, Ava," he wrote. "Ethan's business is starting to unravel. But we need to be careful, we can't let him suspect what's happening." I nodded, even though he couldn't see me, my heart racing with excitement. I started the engine, pulling out of the parking lot as the sound of a ticking clock echoed in my mind. I knew I was playing with fire, that the consequences of my actions could be devastating. But I was ready to see Ethan fall, ready to watch as his world came crashing down around him. As I drove home, the city lights blurring together like a kaleidoscope of color, I felt a sense of satisfaction wash over me. I was one step closer to my goal, one step closer to seeing Ethan pay for his betrayal. I pulled into my driveway, the house looming before me like a sanctuary. But as I stepped out of the car, my phone buzzed again, this time with a text from an unknown number.